You are listening to JosuBroadcast. Episode 3. Learn a language with your hobbies. In this episode, I'll teach you how to learn English while you have fun. It can work for either language you want to learn, not just English. Have you felt bored, sleepy, or angry while studying English? If your answer is yes, I'm sorry to hear that. You are doing everything wrong. Stop studying English now. You need to take a break. Take a break for 15 minutes, but a good break. No cell phone, no TV, no nothing. Take a nap if possible, or just go outside and see the sky. Then, start studying English again, but follow my instructions. Pay undivided attention. Studying with books are good. You learn vocabulary and grammar, and you will know how to express your ideas. That's perfect. But I will tell you this, that's not enough in real life. Someone who has experience will tell you the same. I have experience and I want to share it with you. In a real scenario, while having a conversation with a native English speaker, we need to create a connection. We need to make sure we understand what the other person is saying, and we are able to respond properly, using at least simple language. That's something we do with our native language, but we don't notice it. The challenge starts when we realize people have accents, and people express their ideas in different ways. I have an accent, and I express my ideas differently. First time I talked to someone who had an accent, it felt like I didn't know anything about English. Even when I asked, "Can you repeat that again, please?" I barely understood the second time. At that moment I realized it will not always be as the books say. I was confused and scared. It felt like I studied for nothing. I have seen some cases where people cried or they were about to throw up because of nervousness, but don't worry. I will give you the secret that many people don't tell you. The solution is your hobby. Answer the following question. What is your hobby? You may like something that you do every day. Do you like sports? Do you like exercising? Do you like cooking? Do you like music? Do you like video games? Do you like watching movies or series? Anything you like and enjoy doing it every day. Use it as a resource to learn English. How? Let's say you like sports. So, watch the news about that sport in English. Look for video reviews about that sport. And look for interviews related to that sport. Do it every day. Then, if you stop liking sports, move on to the next hobby and repeat. By doing this, you will listen to many accents. You will listen to how people express their ideas, and you will learn new phrases and vocabulary that you can use in your conversation practices. Does it work? Of course it works. I know 3 people that can prove it. One day some friends and I were talking about how do we learn English. One of them said, "I learned English by playing video games." And me like, "How come?" He said, "I like playing multiplayer video games, so I meet people online who speak only English. Reason why I had to connect by learning phrases that help me communicate." Another friend said, "I learned English by singing and watching videos about interviews." Very impressive. And the last guy said, "I learned English by watching TV, repeating what the actors say. Sometimes talking to himself in front of the mirror." Sounds crazy. That guy is me. I'm still improving. I watch streamers about chess or other podcasts, and if I found a new phrase or word, I take note. Up to 3 words or 3 phrases. If we talk about pronunciation, I am not the best person on it. That's something we can practice either ourselves by recording our voice and comparing, or with a native speaker. I remember when I started studying English, I was watching TV and I saw a show that was full in English. I couldn't understand anything. Somehow that day I wanted at least to understand English. It takes time, people. In my case, it took more than a year to understand English. Then I said to myself, if I understand English, I should be able to speak. I tried to speak, but it was very difficult. Not everybody is the same. There is people who find very easy to speak, but there is people who find very easy to listen. Either way or whichever way, you will end up speaking English and listening to English. Okay, now, before ending the episode, let's make a recap. Number 1, find your hobby. Number 2, use your hobby to learn English. Number 3, look for videos related to that hobby. And number 4, do it every day. And as I said before, in case you get bored of your hobby, move on, find another hobby, but keep going. Thank you for listening to this episode. This podcast is available on Spotify and Google Podcast. You can find me on all social media like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube as JosuBroadcast. I have TikTok and Instagram, but I use them to share short videos about each episode. See you then.